Okay, if you've stuck through with me so far, well done for 1 and for 2. Thanks for sticking with me. I know this has been a very long project, and because I'm making it up as I go along, obviously I can't tell you everything at the beginning, so I will try and... I always do a little intro at the beginning of a video, which I have to do at the end. So when I get to the end of the project, I'll film the finished piece and show you what I'm going to make. So obviously the beginning of this video is going to be a video of the finished handbag showing you what you're going to make. So at that point I'll try and add things in and tell you things that I couldn't tell you at the beginning of actually starting to make the project, because I'm making it up as I go along. So you're going to need 2 extra strips of 2. So you need 4 extra squares, not just the 80. So after we've made the 80, we want 4 more, and we're just going to join them together like that. Now what I've done as well is I've gone all the way around the edge. After I've finished them and joined them together, I go all the way around the edge. Oops, I've got a bit of thread showing there. That's just the end needs cutting off. You go all the way around the edge. I need to cut that tail off. Look, I've got a tail. Oh. Yeah. Oh, I haven't tied it in, that's why. I could do that bit in a minute. Yeah, once you've finished your squares and joined them together, go all the way around the edge and tighten everything off so it looks like a straight flat line, if you see what I mean. So it's nice and straight. And I've done the same thing with the bag. So you want to go and take your bag. If you've still got some, you won't have thread attached, will you? You might do. If you've got thread attached when you've finished joining and you've got a nice long piece, you could start. But what I did was I tied in a piece of thread and I just went through all the beads in a row, all the way around the entire bag, just to make them, you know, sit in a nice line like that. So go do that, go all the way around. I'm not going to just show you on video because it's obvious. You just go around all the top beads, all the way around, making that row nice and straight. So I've done that already. Go ahead and do that. Then make your extra 2 little pieces like so. And then we're going to add those to our bag. So I'm going to tie on this thread. I don't know what I've done here. Right, let's just tie on the thread. Okay, so I've gone ahead and I've actually attached one just to make sure it works, because as I keep saying, I'm making it up as I go along. Yes, making it up as I go along. So I've done one side and then we'll do the other side together. So I'm just going to undo it like so. So first we're going to take our First we're going to take our squares, we're going to attach a thread, and then we'll zoom in and I'll show you what I'm doing a bit closer up. So I want it to be like the other one, we want it to sit over there. So I've done them so that they're in the middle, in between the squares. Done that line there where we did our joining of squares. So it's going to sit in the middle, not against a square like that. It's going to sit between. So I want my thread to come out of here. So I'm going to go ahead, attach my thread. So yeah, I have to, normally I would, before I do a tutorial on anything, I would have made the item at least 2 or 3 times. You know, so I know what I'm doing. And so I'm well practiced enough that I can show you guys, but obviously this is a different kettle of fish. I've never done a granny square bag before. First time I came across the granny squares was Elsa's bracelet video, and yeah, so if you've watched my video about my bracelet, you'll see where I got the idea for this bag. Yeah, I've done a few bracelets. I think they can make lovely earrings, just as a triangle, you know, that way. But yeah, let's not get off subject. Right, let's focus. Just going to get my bead through to where it needs to be coming out of before we zoom in. It's very fiddly getting in these crystals once you've been down them so many times, but I haven't broken any beads so far. Actually, I think we'll start in the middle. Yeah, we'll start with the middle one. So let's zoom in. Excuse me. Doesn't like zooming in for some reason. There we go. You can see better there, yeah. Right. So we've got our thread attached. Let's get that tail out the way. So we're going down that middle line here, in between our sets of squares. So I'm coming up the middle here, look. I'm going to position it so that the 8 toes are almost opposite each other. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here in the middle. So we're going to go up the middle bead and join it there. So got that middle one. Can you see where I'm going? Like so. Take an 11-0 seed bead. What have I done wrong? Hang on, I've gone through the wrong way, I think. And through the top. Yeah, we're coming up. Hang on. Don't know what I've done here. I have to undo it now and see what I've done. The thread will come out. No, it won't. I have to unthread it. Sorry, I don't. Yeah, I'm going from underneath, aren't I? From the top. Going. Right, sorry. I'm going to rethread my needle. There you go, that's reality for you. I'm not going to edit it out because I am fed up of editing it. I'm just going to do this off camera because I can't see what I'm doing at arm's length to thread my needle. My eyes are so tired from all this beading. It has been a long project. I don't want to wait to get it finished. I want to finish it, get it done. Right, sorry. Right, so we're coming out of the bottom of there. So we need to get the bottom of that one. So we're going to add a bead first, not afterwards. Right, get your brain in gear, woman. Right, so we're coming up the bottom of this bead. We're in between our sets of squares. We're going to come down go through the third bead along. So that'll be the middle one, like so. Through that middle one, and pull. Take another 11-0, just like we did when we were joining our squares. And this is going to be our little hinge on this side. Back through that 11, and we've made our little loop. Now I'm just going to go around that an extra time to reinforce it, maybe twice, until I come, and then I'm going to, when I finish, come out up through this 8-0. So go ahead and reinforce yours. I'm trying to save time because this video has been so long. So yeah, reinforce and then meet me at the 8-0 bead. So yeah, you're going to be coming up this 8-0, not that one. Going the other way. Down through your, once you've reinforced, I've done mine, I think 3 times I got round mine. But obviously, you know, it depends how tight all your beads are. Don't crack a bead. If you can only get round twice, go round twice. Or we use a 12 beading needle as well if your work's really tight. But right, so now we're coming out with the 8. We're going to add an 8. Then let's turn my work. Come back up through that 8-0 there. Add one more 8. And then down through that 8. you've joined them like so. And then do the same, go around and reinforce that a couple of times, and then go back up and meet me at this end. It'll probably be go round, 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 yeah, and then come out with this 8/0 on the bag. So just reinforce and I'll meet you at this 8/0. Okay, once you're coming out of the 8/0 on the body of the bag, you're going to pick up another 8/0, coming up with this one here, jump across to the one on your square and go down that 8/0. Pick up one more 8/0 and coming up with this one here. I'm going to jump back across to our bag and go through the 8/0 on the bag, like so. And the same again, we're going to reinforce our work. Obviously it's a bit different, the other side doesn't look as even because this one's gold and that one's white, but we're going through the white, gold, 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 white, just round exactly the same as we did with this one. Reinforce and then take your thread up into your work, tie a knot and cut your thread off, and that's how we attach that piece. Right, once you've done that, you should have what looks like that. Don't know if you can see that. Oh, that's come loose, look. Yeah, it should look like that. Okay, it's had a bit of a disaster there. As you saw at the end, I said it's come loose. What had happened is one of my crystals had cut my thread. So I'm going to have to do that all over again. I've taken it off. I'm just going to redo it. So back to where I was. But do it exactly what I just did and yours should be fine. But a little tip for you, when you're pulling through a crystal, like so, when you pull your thread, always pull it completely straight like that. Never pull upwards or back or to the side, because if you do, some of these crystals can be slightly sharp given they're made out of glass. So, wrong thread. Do be very careful to always pull in a straight line like that, not back or up when you're coming through the glass crystals. I think what I did was I might have chafed the thread, either that or I've caught the knot when I've gone back through and somehow mine came loose here, so I'm just took the squares apart and I'm going to redo my square. I don't want to patch it up because I've come this far. I want it to be, you know, looking good. So I'm going to redo my square, reattach that one that we've just done together, but just attach yours exactly how I just showed you and that should be fine. It's just that mine broke. So it's a little tip for you there. Always be careful going through crystals, whether they're bicones or rondelles, because they're made of glass, and depending on the quality, some of them are a little bit sharp on the edges. Clearly some of mine are, which next time I'm going to buy all check beads, because they're much better quality. So just be careful where you buy your beads. There's a tip for you. Damn it, come all that way and I've had to take it back off. Never mind, I'll redo that right now and then meet me back and I'll show you how to do the clasp. In fact, we could put the loop on the end before we attach it. It's up to you. This piece here, this loop, you can do this stage before you add it to the bag, but either way it doesn't make any difference, it's exactly the same, so it'll work out the same. Right, I'm going to go and redo my square, put my strap back on, and then I'll meet you back here. Just thought I'd let you know what happened there and why it went loose. Okay, so I'm back. I've done a new square. We've got our hinge. Don't know what happened there, whether a crystal cut the thread, maybe I didn't do the knot, maybe I only did one knot and I pulled the thread through and undone it. I have no idea what happened there, but could have cut on one of the crystals maybe. Right, so now we're going to add the loop. So I'm going to zoom in. It's nice and easy. That's a little bit too much. That'll do, yeah. Right, so we're going to pick up 3 of our 11-Os. Just keep an eye on what I'm doing. Yep, 3 of our 11-Os and an 8-O. So we've got that. And then we're going to pick up 20 of our 11-Os. This is actually going to depend on the size of the bead you're using for your clasp. I've used a size 8. I mean, maybe you'll use a pearl, maybe you'll use a crystal, but you might have to measure, you know, and judge how many you will need for yours. So I need 20. How do we have it like that? Yeah. 20. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. What have I done to my table? 19. I've made a right mess with these beads. They've gone everywhere. 20. So I keep moving my work around on the table. Right, so I need 20. You might need a few more or a few less, depending on the size of your crystal. Where's mine gone? I just had it. Yeah, your crystal. So if you don't know how many you need, you're going to have to sort of measure how many you need for your crystal, which you might need to put your crystal on first so that you can do your measuring. But either way, I'll show you what to do and you can do your measuring, you know. I'll show you in a minute how you do your measuring. Right, I've got my 20. I'm going to go back down through the 8-O. It's trial and error sometimes with making these little clasps because some, you know, the beads do come up different sizes, so it's hard to tell you exactly how many beads you're going to need, you know, because they don't always come up the same. I need some more of those. Where's my bronze? There they are. I've used a lot of bronze. I've used, how much is in here? 22 grams. I've used nearly all of them. That bag was full. So another 3. There's a lot of beads in this project. Another 3. And then back down this crystal here. So I'm going in that way. Maybe turn my work a bit. I'm going to turn it round. This is how I end up spreading my beads everywhere, isn't it, when I turn my work round. Right, I'm going to go in through this crystal here. Yeah. Right, that's it. And then we're going to add another 2. The reason I'm doing it that way around is because I don't want this bit to be too long. Otherwise it has to go too far down the bag. I'm trying to make it nice and short, so I'm adding some of the beads afterwards instead of all at the same time. So it'll make it shorter. Right, so now I've done that, we'll turn our work around again. And then I'm going to add 2 more beads. You see what I mean? If I'd have added them first, this bit will be longer. So I'll just fill in the gap afterwards and then go around and reinforce my work. So I'm going to go back round the loop. All the way around. Make sure you don't miss any beads, or you're going to have a little piece of thread showing, and that will be not very nice. Just make sure you don't miss any. Like so. Down all those, back down the 8-O, down the other side, and then we'll add 2 more. beads. 1, 2, and of course you can do this piece before your you add it to your bag. That's if you know exactly how many you're going to need. So depending on the size of your crystal, isn't it? Hopefully yours will be the same size, and you just need 20 for an 8-0 crystal. But I could say the beads do come up different. I think next time I will buy all the check ones. They're a bit more expensive, but you know, it's worth it for the quality, I think. What have I done wrong here? Nothing. Okay. Just pulling too hard. Right, so you will have that. And then we're just going to go inside, go around a few beads and tie off a knot. And if you think you can get up there a third time to tighten everything off, to reinforce. But this video is getting longer and longer and longer, so we're going around twice. And my thread's getting shorter and shorter. So I'm going to tie a couple of knots, finish off, and then we'll show you how to do the other half of the clasp, the bead bit on the bag. Whew, we're nearly there, guys. What a long project. Right, for the next bit, I'm going to take a size 8-0 seed bead. Zoom in for a minute. My fingers won't do it. There we go. Take just a size 8-0 seed bead, run it down to the bottom of your thread. This is going to be a weird one, guys. Tie a knot, tie a double knot, you know, not when you do your surgeon's knot, double, and then I'm going to go through this a few times. Basically we're just going to use this as an anchor. So once you've gone through it a couple of times, another knot maybe. Just make sure that's not going anywhere. I'm going to go under my thread and tie one more, just to be super safe. Right, now once I've secured that, all I'm going to do is use this for an anchor. And what I'm going to do is, zoom out for a minute, I'm going to go up inside the bag with my needle. I'm going to go up inside and poke my needle through where I want to come out. So I'm going to attach one of these, look. So I'm attaching mine just above the second set of squares here. So let's zoom in. I mean, you might have to adjust yours exactly where you're going to put it, depending on how yours reaches on the size of your bag and whatnot. So, but mine worked best on the second, you see there? So what we're doing is, hang on, let's zoom back out again a sec. Right, so that's the front of the bag. That's our first row of squares, and we're going in between it. So on the opposite side, our first row of squares, we're going in between it, and we're going down 1 square, down 2 squares, and we're going to come out above this little join here. So I'm going to zoom in, leave my needle in place. I'm going to zoom in, and that's the spot where I want to come out. So what I'm going to do, hope you can see all this, is go in like that. I'm going to go inside the bag. I'm going to do my best to come up, oops, miles away, between there, no, I'm still miles away, nearly there. Come up between those beads like so. I'm in the right place. Between the, no, a bit higher. I want it between the ATOs. Make sure it matches the other side. So remember what I did on the other side. Up there we go. Above that little square, in between those ATOs. So I'm going to pull it up, and that ATO seed bead is going to sit on the back of my work. Not only will it act as an anchor, but when I have to go back down in through, it'll be a guide as to where my needle's going to go, and I'll get it through the back of that, hopefully. So we're going to add an 8O and your crystal, and you're going to pull them down. They're just going to sit like that on your work. Sorry guys, it's a bit of a translucent crystal. Then we're going to take 3 15O seed beads, pull them down to your work, like so. So on your thread you'll have an 8O, a crystal, that's an 8mm crystal, and 3 15Os. Slide them down, and then we're going to miss the 15Os and go just down that crystal, down the 8O, like so. I'm going to bring it all down close to my work. I'm going to turn it around. Can you see where I'm working? Yeah. Right, pull that down. I'm going to put my hand inside the bag. Haven't pulled it tight yet. Put my hand inside and feel around for that little bead, and then I'm going to poke my needle down and hopefully go through that bead. It doesn't matter if you don't go through it, it's just a guide either way. And then pull, and then I'm going to pull this, tighten it all up, but I don't want it too tight because you want a slight amount of movement in your bead, like this one, so it can just slightly move. And then what we're going to do is go back up, so you're going to have to sort of look down inside your bag, zoom out again, get down inside your bag, go back up through that, if you can get your needle in that 8O bead and use it as a guide, and then you should be able to come straight back up. Oops, no, I've missed it completely. Straight back up where your thread's coming out. Alright, now let's zoom in. Oops. Where are we? Alright, so I'm going to come back up through the 8O look here, and back up through the crystal, like so. Oops, don't tangle up. Back up through the crystal. And then I'm going to go back up through my picot, these little beads here, the 15Os. So I'm going to go back up through the 15Os. Just want to reinforce everything, make it nice and strong. Oopsie. That's the only reason we're going back through all these beads, is to reinforce it, because you don't want it coming off or breaking. So back through that other bead, the second one of the picot, and then down the third one, and through the crystal, and through the 11O, and directly back down inside your bag. And see, and I'm coming back out inside the handbag like so. I'm going to give it a little pull, but then at the same time a little loosen, make sure it's not too tight. And I'm going to go back one more time in through the bag. Use that 8O on the back there as a guide, Just try and come up in the right place. Come up through the 11, through the crystal, back up. And if you can, go through one of the 15 O's. So you're coming up, back through the back, up through all these beads. And I'm going through one of the 15 O's. This time I'm going to skip the middle 15O and just go down the other side. And that'll give a little bit of definition to our little picot there. I'm going to have to turn it around. Just try and do it so you can see what I'm doing. Skipping that middle one of the picot. Going down that second one, then down the crystal, down your 8O and back into your handbag, into your work. Zoom out a bit again. And then pull it up through the bag, like so. I'm actually going to go up one more time because I want to put my knot inside my work here. I'm going to go up through just the 11O. And then what I'm going to do is make a couple of knots between the 11O and the crystal. So what I'm doing is going to wrap it like that, pop it between the 11O and the crystal, I mean the 8O, sorry, 8O and the crystal, and pull, doing a little knot like that. Do it again, going to wrap that round, catch it between the 11O, 8O and the crystal. I keep saying that, don't I? 8O and the crystal. And then I'm going to try, if I can, to pass it through the middle of the threads. No, I'm just going to go back down into my work. I was going to try and do one more knot, but I'm not going to. I'm going to go down, back into my work. So now we've got a couple of knots on there. And then I'm going to go inside the bag, take my thread, and try and make, if I can, one last little knot. Either through the 8O or through the fabric, whichever you can get in. I've gone through my 8O one more time. On the back, probably would have been doing it at a better angle. Yeah, if you lay it down, might work better. Let's zoom out. Yeah, I'm going back down that 8O. It should be poking out so you can be able to get down it quite easy. I'm going to go into that 8O one more time inside the bag, if I can. Yeah. Right, the thread there is quite fiddly, but I'm sure you'll be able to do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Right, there we go. Back in through the 8O, and then I'm just going to tie a knot. Make it a double. Guide that down so it doesn't tangle up. Right, that's one last knot in there. And then cut that off inside. And voila. That's the other one attached. Let's zoom out a tiny bit. And then hopefully that will fit. Imagine if it doesn't fit, I'll be very upset. Right, let's just pop it over like so. And the other one. Pop it over like so. And voila. Oh, I like that. Right, that's our little claspy things. How does that look? Yeah, I like that. I've been working on the handle, working on making a pretty handle. So just give me 2 minutes. I will be back and I'll show you how to, I just got to get to the end of this piece because I need to do one first and make sure it works and then get back to you and I'll do the other one. So that's your bag so far with our little hinges. And that folds, you know, flaps really nicely, look. It's got a lovely motion to it. Yep, very happy with that. It just pops into place like so. Yeah. If you've got that far, give yourself a round of applause and I'll see you back here in 5 minutes. I'm going to go and have a coffee break and then we will come back and do the handle together. See you in a minute, everybody. I just love it when a plan comes together. Right, so this is what I've... Oh, doesn't that look pretty? I really like that. Yeah, this is what I've been working on the handle. So, I don't know if you can see how it's coming up there. It's one piece. I'm going to keep going. I want it to be longer than that. So I'm going to have one here. And I'm going to have one here. So I'm going to need 2 of these. So I'll show you how to make this strip in a minute. I'm going to have another one here, joining exactly the same way on this square. And we're going to bring it up and then we're going to join it together here. So it'll be 2 and then it will join into 1 all the way around, join together until it gets to the other side and we have the same effect. So far, what I've got in my head seems to be working out in real life. So that's what I'm doing now. So I'm just going to keep going like that. And when it's long enough, obviously, we're going to attach it to the other side. So I think that's going to look really pretty, don't you? It's going to be lovely. Just trying to imagine it, visualize it. Oops, with the handle on. Yep, seems to be working. Right, I'm going to get back to that. I'm going to finish this whole side and then we'll come back and I'll show you how to do the strap. How to start it, how to join it, and then how to join it together with the other strap. So, not long now. I'm so close. It's been an absolute marathon. Absolute marathon. You wouldn't want to make one of these to sell because how could you ever get the money that you would deserve for it after spending, what, a week or so, maybe 2 weeks, however long, making one of these. But yeah, absolutely amazing. Right, I will see you back here very shortly. Okay, for this part I've used Wildfire, and that's the size, because it's a bit thicker and I want the handle to be sturdy. So I've done one side, look, hang on. From one side, it's attached like that, look. Sorry, I got my needle in my mouth. You see how it's attached? So we're going to do the same again and attach it to that side, so it's like a double strap. So to start with, we're just going to take some of our crystals. So to start with, take 4. In fact, actually, I'm going to put a stop bead first. So let's take any colour. Let's take yellow. And I'm going to use a stop bead. Let's go in a little bit. Doesn't want to do it. There we go. Going to go in. So I'm going to take a stop bead. I've got an entire wingspan of thread. It doesn't matter how much you use, you're going to have to add thread at some point. So I'm going to leave a tail quite long. Yeah, leave a nice long tail, a good few inches, because you're going to use that to join to your bag. So nice long tail, and then a stop bead like so. Just to stop your beads coming off the end. Then you're going to take 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 of your crystals, pull them down, and then we're going to go around through them all again in a circle. Back to the beginning. And we're not going to tie a knot because we've got a stop bead on there, and we're going to come back around and use that thread. So, right, oops. You want to be coming out the opposite bead from where your tail is, like so. So my tail's coming up this one, is it? Yeah. Just trying to see where my tail is now. Where it's actually coming out of, because it's got tangled up in here. Pull that back out. Right, so my tail is there. So now I want to come out one more bead up here, like so. So we're coming out the opposite end of our tail, and that stop bead's there, just in case, you know, you don't want it to all slide off. Now what we're going to do is each time I'm going to pick up, we're going to alternate the colours, so I'm going to do 2 purple there. Let's get some of my pale blue. And what colours you use is really up to you. I'm just going to try and make mine a little bit symmetrical, like to the other side, so my straps are kind of even. But you can use whatever combination. I just want to use the same colours, you know, so it looks like mini squares of what we've already done. So I'm using the same colours. I did buy some bigger beads, but that I've tried and they're not going to work, so I'm using the same beads as what I used for our granny squares. So right, so we're coming up that end, so I'm going to pick up a purple, a blue, or it's a pale blue, and a purple. I'm trying to create an effect of the mini squares. So coming up this side of the bead, going the opposite side, like so. Coming up the side of that one, go up that one, and then through that pale blue. Then I'm going to pick up 3 pale blue, coming up the top of this one here, go to the opposite side, oops, opposite side, and pull. And then go up 1, oops, up 1, butter fingers, up 1, and up the other one. So you'll see here what we're doing is we're adding 2 and then one of another colour, and then 3 of that colour. So it's making the groups of 4. So this time, I'll try and make it match the other side. I'm going to pick up 2 of my pale pink, right, 1 pale pink, 1 blue, so hard to pick these silly things up, I can't see the hole, 1 blue and another pale pink. So I'm going to have 3 like that, with odd colour. Coming up that side, going the opposite side, like so. Start to see the pattern now, and then go up 1, and through that middle one. Like so. And then this time add 3 of the blue. Like so, 3 of the blue. One, 2, 3. Bring those down. Coming up that side. Go through that one. Like so. And you have that. And again, one more time. Up through 1. Just a simple right angle weave. And a lot of you probably know how to do this. And then down there. But if you don't, it's quite simple. So I'm just making sure I'm getting my groups of 4. It's going to look like little squares later on. So I'll show you again one more time. This time, what colours do I want? I'll have that pink and... Sorry, I should have had my colours ready, shouldn't I? 2 pinks and some dark purple. 2, 3, 4. I'm trying to make mine match the other side. Yeah. So I'm going to take a pink and a purple and a pink. Oops, getting tangled up there. Right, so coming up with that side, go in the other side, pull, then up that one, and across through the purple. Just a simple, very simple right angle weave, and we're going to go ahead and do that all the way, and then we add our seed beads afterwards. So go ahead and start threading your crystals. Coming up that side, going to go in this side, like so. Up that one, across that one, and you can see the pattern starting to grow now. So you'll have 4, 2, 4, 2, 4, 2, 4. I'll do it one more time with you. It's really easy, just a simple right angle weave, which a lot of you might already know anyway. And then we're going to have 2 lilac, 2 lilac, and 1, 2, 3. See, it's that colour, isn't it? It's slightly different. Let's take that one. Sorry guys, I'm struggling to find the right beads. That's slightly different as well. No, it's not the one. I'm trying to find the right colour. I should have my beads ready, really. There you go. So we'll just go for these pink ones. These will do. They're all very similar anyway. Right, so we're going to do, oops, the lilac, like that, I think, is it? 2 lilac and pink, yeah. Right, so I'm coming out of the top there. I'm going to add a lilac, a pink, and a lilac. Coming up that side, go in through that side. Oopsie. Like so. And then go up 1. And then through the middle one. Like so. And then we'll add 1, 2, 3 of our pinks, like so. Pull. And then up through that one, up through that one. And then we choose our next colour. Just like that. So it's not really very hard. Just keep going, and you're going to keep going like that until you get to the length you want, which is quite, depends how long you want. You might want to have like you know, a little short grabby handle, or you might want to have a handle that can go up over your shoulder. I wanted mine to be able to at least go over my shoulder a bit, because that's how I like to carry things. It can get awkward if you just have to carry it in your hand all the time. I find that can be a bit annoying, having to, you know, hold something in your hand constantly. But yeah, it's really up to you now where you go from here, how long you want it to be. So I'm just going to keep working on mine until it's the same length as my other one. So, and you don't have to make yours symmetrical. That's what I'm trying to do with mine. So I'll show you what I mean by symmetrical. And then up through that one, and through that one. You can see there where I'm going with that pattern. So we're just going to keep going like that, and it will be baggy and loose, and don't worry about these bits of thread you can see, because we're going to be adding beads in the next round, so you won't see any of that, and it will be a little bit loose, but we'll tighten it up in our next round of beads. So, and what I meant by symmetrical is I'm going to try my best anyway. I'll probably muddle them up. I'm going to try and make mine the same as the other strap. And let's zoom out. Yeah, I'm going to try and make this one the same, so they match. That's what I meant by symmetrical. So I'm going to do the matching colours all the way up, and just get it as long as you want it. Mine's quite long. Mine's long enough that I can hang it over my shoulder, and it hangs, you know, just a bit below the armpits, or about where your boob goes. About down there, but I didn't want it too low, because if I do it too long, the weight of this bag is going to end up so heavy, because we've got a lot of beads going on here. So yeah, just choose whichever colours of beads you want to, you know, to match with your bag. I've used the same crystals. I think it matches really nicely, and they look like mini granny squares, don't they? So just keep going like that until you get to the length you want. Just keep measuring it, basically. Try it over your shoulder, or take a tape measure or a piece of thread or whatever, measure it as long as you want it to be, and keep going until you get to your full length. And when you get to the length you want to be, meet me back and I'll show you what to do next. Some of you may be able to guess already, depends on how experienced you are, but yeah, I'll show you what I'm going to do next. And then obviously we've still got to put the lining in, but you know, I'm sure you can make a look like in a bag without me having to show you how. But yeah, anyway, let's carry on with the handle, and then we're going to join it like this one, and hopefully she said, making it up as she goes along, hopefully be able to join it somewhere here so that it turns into like joined together at the top, but we'll see. It might not be possible, but that's what I'm envisaging in my head. So go ahead, carry on with that bit, and I'll meet you when you get to the other end. Okay, this next bit's super easy. We've done our little chain here, and now we're just going to add the beads down the side. So I'll show you, really easy. I'm sure most of you probably know how to do this already, although I always say to beginners, give everything a try. Why not? But yeah, I don't think I'd take this on if I was just starting out beading. So I'm assuming you probably know how to do this, but in case you don't. Right, so I'm coming out of the end of this little join here, so I want to go down, but I'm not going to add, or should I add one there? Yeah, I will. So we're going to have different colour beads all the way down, so you're just going to be adding an 8/0 in between every bead. So I'm going to go down this way, just going to add gold here. So you just want it so that it's coming all the way down. So then I'm going to have orange, and if you run out of thread you might have to add thread, but it's really easy, just tie it across the thread bridges. I tied mine a few times, I've had to add thread and tie off thread, but just try not to get your knot too close to your bead so that you can still come back through it, because this is thick thread, so you will have to add thread at some point. So I'm just going all the way down the sides like so, and this is going to pull it tight as well, where it's all baggy and wibbly wobbly. See, that's going to pull it all tight together. We're just going to go all the way down, adding beads like this to the other end, and then when we get to the other end we're going to turn around and come back up the other side. So as you start to get halfway down, you'll notice it starts to kink because it'll get tight on one side, but don't worry, it'll level out when you do the other side. So just keep going all the way down your right angle weave like so. Just keep adding those beads, look. That's all there is to that next stage. So just keep going like that all the way to the end. And just in case you've never done it, I'll turn around at the other end and show you. Come back when I get to the other end and show you what I'm going to do next. I've done 2 blue, I'm trying to copy my other strap. 2 blue. And you don't have to make yours the same, you could make them different colours. You can do whatever you want, and you might decide you want to do a totally different strap. You might be a really, you might be an experienced beader yourself, and you might come up with a different design. Or you might want, like a shorter handle, just like something to grip with your hand, which in which case you won't need to make yours so long. Or you could do a different style of handle altogether. Maybe you'd prefer a different stitch, but I think this is going to look lovely. You don't want your handle too thick, but you don't want it too thin either. That's the trouble. You want it to be strong enough, you know. So pink, and then next I'm on to green. So just keep going like that all the way down until you reach the end. Okay, so when you get down to the other end, I've gone all the way down, look. This is my stop bead, so ignore that one. So I've got all the way down to the end, and I'm not going to put a bead on the end. I'm going to skip that one, because we're going to add it when we put it on our bag. We're going to add that bead when we come to attach it here. We want it to go in the right direction. So just pop across to the other side, through the end of your bead. Probably don't even need that stop bead by now, to be honest. You can get rid of that, but it's just still there. Right, go down the other side, and you can add your first one. Just don't add the last one on the other side. So what I'm going to do, yeah, go back up. That way. Now we just start going back up the other side, all the way to the end. We've only missed that one, but we're going to add that as we join it to the bag. So we're going to keep going all the way back up. And I'm doing mine so that the colours match. So if whatever colour I've done this side, I'll do the same on this side. Then they'll look like the little granny squares at the end. You see what I mean? If you make them symmetrical, they'll look like a little mini version of what's on your handbag. Like so, look. So I'm just mirroring what's on the other side with the colours to make them look like little mini squares. That makes sense. So just keep going like that until you get all the way back down to the other end, and then I'll show you how to attach it to your handbag. And then all we've got to do is pop the little lining in and we're done. So carry on like that all the way back down, and you'll see that's tightened up your work. It'll be nice and secure. So just keep going all the way back, mirroring what's on the other side, and they'll look like mini granny squares. Okay, once you've done that, you'll have your strip. I'm going to go ahead and snip off all my tails now at this point. So now that we've finished, let's get rid of all my tails, because I did have to, you will have to join thread. There's no way you can have enough thread on your needle to do that. Right, so I've got thread at each end. So I've got some left here, and then I've got a tail on the end. And we should have one each end without, like that, where we're going to add. So now I'm going to put my handle on my handbag. So I'm coming out of the end here. Zoomy zoom. Coming up this one here. We're going to do the same as this one here. Gonna have to zoom out a little bit, because yeah, otherwise it's going to be too big to go in the camera. Right, so what have I done? I've done 3. So 1. Oh, where's my gold beads? I put everything down here, didn't I? Yeah. Right, let's take the gold 8 toes. It's a nice easy bit now. 1, 2, oops, 3, and then we're done. Pull up like so, and then we're just going to attach this other handle. So I've got 3 coming out the bottom there, and I'm going to go in through the 8 toe here, up through my crystal, stiff now. It's hard to get those beads in. I mean the needle through those beads. Right, and then through the 11 and back through the next crystal. And up the next 8-0. This bit's not too hard. And if you have a bead where your needle really won't go through it and you're worried it's going to break, you can always, after you've been through it once, if you can't get through it a second time on the reinforcement, because we're going to go around and reinforce, if you can't get round it when you go around your second time, after you've joined it, when we come back down here on your second time round, if it won't go through, go over the thread bridge and poke it into the fabric, and then come back up through the back of the fabric next to your next bead, if that makes sense. Right, now I'm going to pick up 2 more. Where there's a will, there's a way. So I'm going to go up through that one, matching it, you see, like the other side. So they're sitting on there. 3 sets of beads there. And now, yeah, I'm going to go up. I want to reinforce it, but I'm going to go all the way up through these, like so. Cross through that pink one, like so. Down through that one. Oops. And then I want to reinforce those beads that I've just added, these gold ones. Alright, so go back down the gold, or whichever colour you've chosen in your 8-0. You might have chosen a different colour to me. You can choose any colour you want. And then back through the 8-0, up through the crystal, through the 11-0. Is it going to go? Ah, don't break, don't break. Yep, it's gone. Well, if it's gone through mine, it should go through yours. And then the last crystal. And then up through the 8-0. Oopsie, caught around the corner of my bag. Like so. And there you've attached your handle. And then I'm going to go back up these beads and I'm going to go around a few times and do some knots, and that's that side finished. And then go ahead and attach your other side, so you'll have 2 straps each side like so. Go ahead and attach the other side and then get back to me. And we're finished. So once you've done all that, you could leave it at, I'm just going to leave mine as 2 straps, to be honest. I'm not going to join them together, but you could, because what I was planning was to join them part way up like that and do 1 bead there, 1 bead there in a little round like we did in the squares. And then I was going to do it all the way up, all the way around, and then just leave a bit each side like that open and do the rest closed. But I haven't decided if I'm actually going to do that or not. I'm all beaded out for now, so I might just leave it as 2 straps like that, you know, because I think that looks really pretty. It's a bit different, isn't it? So yeah, I'm going to leave that as 2 straps. That's me done. But obviously you don't have to do the same strap as me. You can do whatever strap you like. But that is my finished handbag, and I am beaded out for a little while. I'm gonna have some serious munch. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Do hit that subscribe, hit the like, share the pattern out, share the video. Like I say, you can just take my idea, go away and, make it your own. You don't have to make exactly the same as what I've done. You might, want to change it and make something completely different. You might want to make a jewellery box. This would make a lovely box, I think. Or you could make a teeny weeny bag with just a few squares, But, yeah, that's been a marathon. Absolute marathon. I just need to stitch my inner bag in. It's in there, look. And when you stitch your inner bag, just make a little, bring it up to your edge of your work, and then just go in and out. I'm just going to go in and out with the needle, like from the back to the front, and go in between the beads so you can't see the thread, and occasionally go through the thread bridge to, hold it together. So just put your little inner lining bag in and stitch that around the edges, and it'll be all, neat and tidy inside as well. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, everybody. Have a great day. Stay happy, stay creative. I'll see you all soon. Thank you for watching, and thanks for sticking with me on this marathon. It's been epic. But yeah, if you do make a handbag, please email me your work. I'd love to see what you make. So yeah, that would be really cool, and I can show off your work on my channel if anybody wants to send me a picture. I did have one lady sent me a picture of the miniature handbags that I did, which was really nice to see people's work. So if you do, just email me and send me a picture of your bag when you're finished. Okay, everybody, take care. Have a great day. Bye for now.